One of the big keys to understanding the Bible and the end times and the book of Revelation is the book of Daniel. I think it's probably one of the least read books in the Bible. I remember a person leaving a comment said to me after I talked about the book of Daniel, he said, everybody tries to take a crack at the book of Daniel as if it's this complicated book that no one can understand and it's coded. No book in the Bible is coded in a way where it's confusing that it's impossible to unlock. The key to it is that you have to read the entire book. Some books are interdependent on other books. In other words, you have to combine verses. One of the main things I do in this channel is show you the interrelated verses that are related that expound on the understanding. Let's go into the book of Daniel. We're going to read certain parts and to get a better understanding of the book of Daniel and the end times and how to read it. The Bible is one of the most interesting books to read. Once you understand the book of Daniel, the Bible ceases being fake because you can tie it to history. Daniel had a dream about 4 beasts, and now he's going to expound about the 3rd beast. Let's start reading in Daniel chapter 8, verse 1. In the 3rd year of the reign of King Belteshazzar, a vision appeared unto me, even unto me, Daniel, after that which appeared to me at the first. So he has a dream. And I saw in the vision, and it came to pass, that I saw that I was in Shushan, in the palace that was in the province of Elam. And I saw in the vision, and I saw by the river of Ulai. Then I lifted up my eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram, which had 2 horns. And the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. It sounds very confusing. I will simplify it in a minute. And I saw the ram pushing westward and northward and southward, so that no beast might stand before him. So Daniel has a dream about a ram, and he notices that it has 2 horns, and this ram pretty much did whatever he wanted. Nobody could stop him. Nobody was stronger than him. Verse 5. And as I was considering, behold, an he-goat came up from the west, and on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. And he came to the ram that had the 2 horns, which I had seen standing before the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power. When it says that the ram came and touched not the ground, meaning that he's quick. Right? So when you run fast, it's like your feet aren't touching the ground. Verse 7. And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him, and smote the ram, and brake his 2 horns. And there was no power in the ram to stand before him, but he cast him to the ground, and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver out of his hand. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came 4 notable ones towards the 4 winds of heaven. Now Daniel has a dream, so I'm going to sum up the dream. The dream he has about this ram that had 2 horns, and the ram went all through the earth and destroyed it and controlled it. But then a he-goat comes who's stronger than this ram, and the ram can't understand how this goat is stronger than him, but he gets subdued and broken by this one horn. Then the horn dies, and 4 notable ones towards the 4 winds of heaven. You have the ram, you have the goat taking over for the ram, and then you have four notable goats coming up from the one goat. The angel, later down in the chapter, is going to explain to Daniel what the dream means. So we're going to start with Daniel chapter 8, verse 20. The ram which thou sawest, having 2 horns, are the kings of the Media and Persia. No need to try to explain. No need to try to go dig into the Septuagint and the Greek and the original Hebrew versions. It's explaining what's happening very plainly. The ram which thou sawest, having 2 horns, are the king of Media and Persia. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia. And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it. 4 kingdoms shall come out of the nations, but not in his power. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressions are come to the full, a fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not in his own power. And he shall destroy wonderful, and shall prosper, and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. There's nothing to expound on here. It says it plainly what the dream was, what Daniel's vision was. The 2 horns and the ram is the king of Persia and Media. And the king of Greece is Alexander the Greek. Everything we're reading about here is in the past. He destroyed Darius, but this was the future for Daniel, past for us. Prophecy for Daniel, history for us. When we're looking at this, we see that the goat is going to take over for the ram, but then he is going to be destroyed himself. Then 4 people are going to take his place. It's that simple. And when we see Daniel talk about the 4 beasts that came up, this is the 3rd. The leopard, he's fast. His feet didn't touch the ground. When he conquered the earth, it was quick. We're going to go in to get a full understanding of when this took place. We're going to read the book of Maccabees, which is the 1611 King James Version, or the Apocrypha. When we read the Apocrypha, which they took out of the Bible, you get a full understanding. And the reason why they take it out is because it creates confusion. And money is confusion. If I can confuse you, I can make money off of you. That's how it works. That's how this whole society works. Confusion for the masses is money for one individual. I don't understand taxes, so now I got to pay somebody to do it, right? I confuse you about the Bible. Now you have to come to church and I get to collect your money. Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian, came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, the king of the Persian and Medes, that he reigned instead, the first over Greece. Very simply, we read the fulfillment of what Daniel saw. The goat, which is the son of Philip, Alexander, who came out of Chittim, had destroyed Darius, who was the ram. This is the goat defeating the ram. Verse 2, he made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth and went through the ends of the earth and took spoils and many nations, and insomuch that the earth was quiet before him. Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. And these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted the kingdom while he was yet alive. Alexander reigned 12 years, and then he died. And we can see that back in the book of Daniel, where it says in verse 21, the rough goat is the king of Grecia, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Verse 22, where that being broken, whereas four stood up for it, four kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his own power. We combine that with the book of Maccabees. In verse 5, it says, after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted the kingdom before them. We see in the book of Maccabees, which we need to understand the book of Daniel. So to sum this all up, it's important for you to read the Bible in its entirety. Otherwise, parts will be confusing. The Bible is pretty simple of a book to understand if you read all the books. Make the connections and you can see exactly what's going on. And then the Bible becomes real because you can see this with history. The book is about the Israelites. It's not about the Christians. It's about the Israelites being subject to these four beasts. No more prophets. There are no more prophets on the earth. None are coming. There's no two witnesses coming. The only person coming is Yeshua himself to save the Israelites and the non-Israelites who will love to be subject to him and the commandments. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.